Oi oi! Hope you're doing okay. Welcome to Spirit Boost with me, Tim, and Coco the dog. Today we are thinking about how do I really experience God in my life. So there's this incident in the Bible where this guy called Nicodemus goes to see Jesus late at night. He was a religious leader. He was part of a group that were pretty much Jesus' enemies. They wanted to kill Jesus, which is why he would have gone late at night so no one would have seen him. And you can read about it in our lovely friend's book, Only One Johnny Boy, chapter 3. And Nico tries to flatter Jesus. He says, we can tell that your teachings are from God. We can see that God is with you through the miracles you've done. And Jesus has a habit of not doing what you'd expect, of not necessarily being PC, despite what nonsense you've maybe been told about Jesus. He was not always the meek and mild. If that was me and someone came up to me and said, Tim, clearly God's with you, I would say, well, thank you, man. I can tell you're a true man of integrity. You know the truth that God is with me. Well, thank you, bless you. But Jesus didn't do that. Jesus says to Nicodemus, you think you know the things of God. You think you can see the work of God. Let me tell you the truth. You can never, ever see God's rule at work, God's kingdom at work, unless you are born again, unless you're born of the Spirit. Now, to you and me, that seems kind of pretty obvious that you have to be born spiritually, but Nicodemus really doesn't get it. He's like, Jesus, what are you talking about? How can I go back in my mother's womb? How can I be born a second time? But Jesus has made it quite clear. It's a spiritual birth. He says it's like the wind blows where it wants. You don't really understand it, but you feel the effects. So it is when the Holy Spirit makes you a brand new person. You can't really understand it, but you can feel it inside. You can tell there's been a change. So let me ask you a question. If you want to really, truly experience the things of God, have you been born again? Have you become a brand new person through God's Spirit living in you? Jesus said, unless you let go of your life, you will never truly find it. Maybe you've never truly found your life because you have yet to fully let go and let Jesus have complete control of it. That's how we experience the things of God. That's how we see the things of God, the move of God, by letting Jesus have the rule in our hearts. You see, when Jesus has the rule in my life, I begin to see him working around me in other people's situations too. So my challenge for you this week is, have you truly let go and let God have full control of your life? Because when Jesus has that rule in your life and my life, that's when we start to see him moving through us and through the lives of those around us.